Vous attendez qui?
Léon Marchand. Léon Marchand. Léon Marchand aussi.
Like we said, that is our future, right? This kid's good.
Breaks his own NCAA record by nearly 4 seconds.
He's got so much speed right now.
Marchand coming up here trying to win another gold. Looking easy.
This 21-year-old Frenchman, Léon Marchand, he is about to dethrone Michael Phelps in the record books.
You know Michael Phelps as the undisputed god of swimming. He's the most decorated Olympian of all time. His 23 Olympic gold shocked the world, but what truly immortalized him was his ability to set and reset world records. Between 2001 and 2009, Phelps broke a shocking 39 world records. He started with others' records, but when he ran out there, he started smashing and re-smashing his own. A world record is the only accolade more valuable than a gold medal. The longer you hold one, the bigger your legend grows. By far, Phelps' crowning record was his '08 performance in the 400-meter individual medley. He clocked in at 4 minutes and 3.84 seconds, which was 7 seconds faster than his first world record in the same event back in '02. He had set and reset the record 7 times. In 2016, Phelps retired, and one by one, his world records began to crumble. All 39 of them, except for one. The 400-meter individual medley. Fast forward to 2022 at the World Championships in Budapest. During the 400-meter individual medley final, something extraordinary happened. Out of nowhere, the last remaining world record held by Michael Phelps was under attack. Léon Marchand, a 20-year-old French swimmer, was coming for the throne. He had just become the world champion in the 400-meter individual medley, but what really shocked the swimming world was how close he came to Phelps' legendary record, just a second and a half away. While swimming experts had their eyes on Léon for months, this is when the public learned his name. From the outside, he seemed like the perfect role model. He's talented, humble, and excels academically. He was an excellent high school student while simultaneously becoming the French swimming champion. To top it off, his family has an absurd swimming background. His father was a world silver medalist in '98, who also swam in 2 Olympic finals. His mother was a multiple-time French champion and swam in the '92 Olympics. Even his uncle was a multiple-time champ. Léon wasn't one of those athletes who was aggressively pushed by their parents to succeed from a young age, though. In fact, his parents weren't particularly set on devoting his life at a young age. He even took a break for 2 years as a child. However, when he did commit, he went all in. At just 18 years old, Léon swam in his first Olympics. He finished 6th in Tokyo and decided to go harder. He made the bold call to move to the US. There he could swim for a D1 program, but more importantly, he could train under Bob Bowman, the legendary coach who guided Michael Phelps. At 59 years old, he was the coaching GOAT. He's known for his meticulous attention to detail and demanding training sessions. He pushes swimmers beyond their limits to prepare for top-level competition. Bowman is a winner. He's not just a highly respected coach, he's a mentor. Léon also relied on his longtime coach, Nicolas Castel, who had been guiding him since he was 12. Bowman took charge of his development. Léon was great, but his technique, race strategy, and handling of major events all needed improvement. Léon enrolled at Arizona State. There, training starts early at 6 a.m. It lasts 5 hours and it's 7 days a week. In 2022, the college championships were held in Atlanta. Léon swam in the 200-yard individual medley, a prestigious event where the shadow of Caleb Dressel, a swimming legend and the record holder since 2018, loomed large. The record had stood for 4 years. It doesn't seem long, but it's an eternity in swimming. The final was stacked. In lane 6 was the world champion Karsten Foster. In lane 4, Destin Lasco, who in the qualifiers had come within 0.6 of a second of Dressel's record. Finally, right between them in lane 5 was Léon Marchand, ready to make his mark. In an astonishing twist at the NCAA championships, the 19-year-old Frenchman shattered a historic record. The Americans were stunned, and understandably so. This was the first time since 2000 that an Arizona State swimmer had won an individual title. It didn't stop there. The next day, Léon followed it up by winning the 200-yard breaststroke. He had officially burst in the U.S. scene. He dominated the nation's most pressure-packed collegiate competition. With this American season in the books, Léon was ready to shock the global stage. It was the 2022 World Championships in Budapest. Léon nearly broke Phelps' legendary 400-meter individual medley record. Just a few days later, the 200-meter individual medley took place. Karsten Foster, the reigning world champion who had just beaten Léon 3 months prior, was back and eager to stop Léon's tear. Léon had achieved the extraordinary. He became a double world champion. The feat turned him into a media sensation, leading to TV appearances in France. The world had officially taken notice. A new swimming prodigy had emerged. Unfortunately, swimmers don't have the luxury of taking breaks. While 2022 showcased his talent, 2023 had to be the year of solidifying his status. Léon was right back to the grind. Just like the previous year, the first part of the season was dedicated to the American short course. Léon dominated. 26 races, 26 victories. He left his competitors, including Hugo Gonzalez, who had beaten him in the previous year, in the dust. It was a perfect university season, the first of its kind for an NCAA swimmer since '02. In just 2 years, Leon became a hero at ASU. His prowess was undeniable, and everyone recognized that this young swimmer had the potential to become one of the greatest to ever do it. However, dominating the American course was only the beginning. The real test lay in the long course. The 50-meter pool and the 2023 World Championships were approaching. This was Leon's biggest test of the year. Before we dive in there though, it's very important to understand what makes Leon such a generational talent. He makes it look effortless on TV. There's a good reason why it's so hard for the untrained eye to grasp why he's so superior. His greatest strength is his underwater phase. His undulations are smooth and powerful, almost resembling a dolphin. It's beautiful to watch, and his technique is nearly perfect. Some say he's even more skilled than Phelps in this particular technique. Additionally, Leon has the perfect build for a swimmer. A streamlined body, broad shoulders, and narrow hips that make him a torpedo in the water. Think about it like this. Underwater, the human body faces much less resistance than at the surface. Extending these phases gives him an incredible advantage. In a 400-yard race, there are 16 underwater phases. For Leon, this means he spends almost half the race submerged. It's a perfect opportunity to gain ground and avoid choppy waves created by surface swimming. This technique is magical, but brutal on the lungs and legs, especially towards the end of a race. It's an aquatic sacrifice that Leon has perfected. The 400-meter individual medley is a relentless battle against oneself and the limits of one's body. It requires proficiency in all strokes and excellence in at least one. It's an endless sprint where every muscle works at maximum capacity. The effort is so intense that even the fastest swimmers in other disciplines rarely venture into it. Even Phelps, who after setting his final record in Beijing, vowed never to swim in it again, finding it too exhausting. It's now 2023 and we're in Japan, the site of the World Championships in the long course pool. It's been 22 years since Michael Phelps' first World Championships. After 6 months of intense training, Leon entered as the favorite to win the 400-meter individual medley. Foster was still in the mix, but remained in Leon's shadow. Leon wasn't just racing against other men in the pool here. He was racing against a legend, his hero, Michael Phelps, who was in the building commentating for NBC. The time to beat was 4 minutes and 3.84 seconds. At the same time Marchand put the final eraser mark on the greatest legend the sport had ever known, he himself became a legend. The young prodigy not only conquered the 400-meter individual medley, but also dominated the 200-meter medley. With those 2 world championship titles, he added another, the 200-meter butterfly, although he didn't break the world record this time. He earned a new nickname in Japan, Shinkai Butsu, which means New Monster, a very fitting moniker for the triple world champion. Now in 2024, the stage is set for his coronation. The Olympic Games are set in his home turf, but nothing is guaranteed. The challenge ahead is monumental, but it matches his extraordinary talent. His ambitious individual schedule, which the International Swimming Federation had to adjust to accommodate, includes the 400-meter individual medley, 200-meter individual medley, 200-meter butterfly, and 200-meter breaststroke. Those are just individual events. Leon has a date with destiny in his home country. No one doubts his capabilities anymore. The focus in Paris is on being his best when it matters most. He'll be under the highest pressure with a chance to extend his legacy. Who knows? He might take after his hero and break his own records.